Welcome back to some more Katawa Shoujo. My name is Nux, and I can't tell if you can see the top of my monitor again. You sure can. There we go. I'm sorry about that. Last time we were running with Emmy. We just started her first chapter, or her chapter 2, I guess, with Emmy, and we fell asleep on the field, I believe was the last thing that happened. I like the benches, so someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up. Huh? What? Where? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You're gonna catch a cold or something. I rub my eyes and am confronted by Emmy, who bends over me with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. I couldn't sleep. I watch the sun come up. Sounds like something Rin would say. I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes with sleeping on a bench for a few hours. Is it? I wouldn't know. Emmy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response. So, couldn't sleep, huh? Obviously, we need to run you harder today. Even though I've only known her for about a week, this seems a very Emmy-ish response to the problem. And my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see the difference. If you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me from the bleachers with surprising strength for someone her size. Now come on, Hisao. You've got work to do. I don't actually know if I'm up to do this today, to be honest. I mean, I didn't get much sleep, obviously, and what sleep I did get was on the bleachers. I don't know, should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course you should be running. How else do you expect to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping on the bleachers for heaven's sake. The best way to get the soreness out is to run a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. There's no arguing that. Pretty sure she'd kill me if I didn't do it, she said. Doesn't he, need to be in running clothes or something? I doubt he came in here in his running clothes. I get to my feet and hop down to the track. I guess, whatever. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might get used to this. Jesus Christ. You know, Hisao, it's not polite to stare. I wasn't staring, I swear. Emmy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a minute as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. But then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. Honestly, you didn't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a subject change. So, that's enough stretching, right? Emmy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretched? That's how you can tell. Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go. Same as yesterday, okay? We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast, just worry about keeping the pace, got it? You're the boss. Emmy grins again, and then we're off the track. Off around the track. I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap, and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming in ragged gasps. I could feel sweat pouring down my brow, and we've only just now rounded the second turn. Come on, Hisao, you've got 3 more laps to go. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I think I might hurl. Somehow we're on the second lap, and Emmy's not even sweating. How can she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. She's like a machine. That's weird to say about her legs, but that's fine. Third lap, what happened to the second? Almost there, Hisao. Higher, we've got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Emmy whirls around and begins to running backwards. Her face is a mask of anger that surprises me. Never say that. If you say that, you have already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it. Damn, language. We're on this 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs move. 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 They feel so sluggish. I'm in the mud, or molasses, or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on. Final stretches, Hal. Give it all you got. I pump my legs as fast as they'll go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving. Somehow I finish. That's it, Hal. I knew you had it in you. The anger Emmy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant, just like she won a gold medal or something. I stagger to stop and fall to my hands and knees, gasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has for a long time. Ooh, I don't think it's done this since... Oh god. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough, and for some reason feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I am all ready to give up right there. But then I feel my heart slow down. 2 hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. I look up and see Emmy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry. On your feet. Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way. Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like they're lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me. I think she's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible and say so. Emmy laughs. But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? I'm not sure, and I really don't have the breath to say so. But that small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. Okay. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm not going to suddenly keel over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't really know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than me. Once again, I walk around the track, and I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but it's like she's a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle, but doesn't care. She seems to like to be running harder, like she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get air through her nose. And she passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted. She looks beautiful. Dang, Asao. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Asao. There's almost an admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that, I just can't stand to see people give up. Especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What, saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot, I mean showing that you're alive. Showing I'm alive, huh? I didn't know it had to be so painful. But it does feel pretty good, despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and then on the third, it's easier. You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, look at her. She's doing it. But then you have to increase the difficulty or else you'll never get ahead. You'll get complacent and you'll lose a sense of accomplishment. So I'll have to run more than 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes Emmy and her face lights up. Got it. Got what? You can come out with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. My goodness, you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I can hear you coming a mile away. Somehow it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like this is sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Isao. What brings you here? Well, Isao's officially joined me on my morning runs. I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought he might need to visit you so he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises his eyebrows in mock horror. Yep, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Isao, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. Bit shy, are we? He makes me apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to get you a free show, but it didn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Jesus Christ. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, so? That wasn't expected. I think that was like the most... I don't think any other girl is like... cussed. That's crazy. She's a bitch. But in like a fun way. I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal. She doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door and the nurse is laughing and as he watches her go. Still got it. I don't follow. He laughs again and he's on some in-joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. That sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems like the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is. Come to think of it, are they related? I wasn't gonna say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in that you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired over the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her incident. Well, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. Nearly killed her, and we succeeded. I'm sorry, this seems weird that we're talking about this. This is none of my business. We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. Nearly killed her, and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not really my place to say. Yeah, what the fuck? Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while. So we have a slightly more familiar relationship that is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I had been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. So was Rin born without arms? We didn't get there. And we also don't know what was wrong with Misha. I just feel like these are important things. Maybe their disabilities don't define them or whatever the fuck, but I just want to know why Misha was here and why Rin doesn't have arms. It seems really weird. A car wreck makes sense for Emmy. You can lose both your legs together pretty quick, but your arms are so separated that it's like, what happens? I don't know. I'd been wondering about what caused Emmy. It's one of the scenarios I thought of. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Asao. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learn to walk. She'd go so far as much... What? She'd go for so much longer than others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding when they met her prosthetics. It's a real concern. That's why she comes by every day she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs got cut up and her prosthetics get dirty. But enough about that. Now, if we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy would think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back, satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Sal. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. Nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much, and of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? Put my shirt back on, and the nurse leans out the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? Oh, I'm gonna be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing a Sal, that's all. What? Come on, what have I told you about seducing my friends? This is so weird. I'd expect Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try not to blush as the nurse's innuendo. I try not to do it again, though I fear young Asao may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. What is happening? Okay, I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regarded me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you it was funny, didn't I? Huh? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Sal, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. It looks like I've only got half an hour. Thanks for your time. See you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. That's so weird. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I feel like this is going to be the most dark story. That did not sound good to me. The other stories have been like sad sometimes, like Rin killing herself for stuff. Not completely killing herself, but like, torturing her body, I guess, whatever she was doing. Hanako's backstory is sad, but like so is Emi's, right? A car accident, removing her legs is pretty fucked up. Shizune didn't have any past problems. She like didn't get along with her family or whatever, but like that's whatever. This one seems like it's about to be really dark, and I just can't imagine where we're going with this. Okay. Made it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. Hope I don't fall asleep in class. We fell asleep.